How so? Are you gonna air him out on live
Frank,
on?
so we're doing a March Madness bracket,
Okay.
and so we have it so like you can like put as many in as you want, but you pay for each entry.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So Frank doesn't understand that regardless of how many I put in, like my odds are still the same.
Well, that's
For every $20 I bet, I still have the same chance to win.
it's not technically true.
Well,
He's
he
kind of
thinks
right.
it doesn't affect his odds to win.
Yes, it does. What?
No, it doesn't.
You're wrong. Yeah.
No, I'm not wrong.
From the information, unless there's more information you haven't told me,
If
then he's correct.
regardless if it's me that buys in extra or somebody else that like say we said, Jack, do you want to join our bracket?
Yeah,
It
Frank's odds
makes
to
no
win would go
difference.
down. Yes, they would.
It makes no difference if it's me buying in or you.
It doesn't matter who it is, but you adding another thing into the bracket does decrease his odds to win.
Yeah, that's not out of the question, but he thinks it's like crazy that like other people can do that. Like everyone can do it. It's not unfair.
Yeah, you just have to risk more money, which is fine. Like
Exactly. There you go.
it's not unfair, but it does decrease his odds. So you're both right. But like if he's complaining about the fact that like you're putting another one, then
His
like
argument does not make sense. Like
okay,
I can't explain it
okay,
to you, but the
okay,
whole
okay,
chat
okay.
is like, Frank, you're an idiot,
I
and
understand.
it's not clicking for him.
Frank was pissing me off last night. Well, he doesn't make shots the whole night, and as soon as I'm guarding him, he drains like 4 in my face.
We'll
Hello,
see if you
Jacob.
just take a. Well, I can't even talk because I was bad. But what are you gonna do?
I was yelling at you
Oh,
on the
I need to not
sidelines
do that.
when Ray and I were sitting doing the scoreboard, and you were taking all these mid range shots. I turned to Ray and Joe. I was like, "See, Sam tries to convince me the Celtics should take more mid rangers. I'm gonna pull up this tape and show him exactly why threes are the way to go."
Yeah, I hit the back of the rim a bunch of times. A lot of them felt so good too. I was so pissed.
Our team was on fire. Chat for reference. I went to play basketball with Sam and the group that he plays with every Sunday. I guess I'm a regular now. I go almost
Yeah,
every time.
you're in.
Um, but my team went 5-1, and we only reason we had to sit was because of the rule that if you win 3 in a row, you have to sit the next
L
one,
rule,
which
by the way. Hate it.
Sam doesn't like. We lost the last game of the night. We were tired. We were dead. Like we couldn't get shots up. We were just faltering. But we went 5-1, and we were just chucking threes. We were making threes. And actually, I won't say chucking. Most of the threes we took were good threes. So
Good
chucking
segue.
may not be the right word, but there was one game where everybody on our team made a three. When Deshaun makes a three, the game's
Yeah,
over.
I didn't have to play in that one. Thank goodness.
You were watching that one from the sidelines though. That one was
Yeah, I
nuts.
was laughing.
That one was nuts. I've turned myself into a pretty good shooter. I'm happy with my roll of ball now. It's fun. It's fun when you're making shots. Oh, Jared. Anyways, Celtics are back tonight against the Houston Rockets. They've now won 2 games in a row, turning it around a little bit. Took down the Blazers, took down the Hawks. I actually want to say this to you. Yes, I'm just gonna save this for a pod, and we can talk about it in the pod as well. Were there issues against the Hawks? Absolutely, right. And you have to notice them. You have to acknowledge that the Celtics fumbled. However, this is the sort of thing that you were talking about wanting, right? Remember when we had these conversations of, how come the Knicks did it against the Celtics, where the Celtics would make all these little runs and the Celtics or the Knicks would stifle it. That's what the Celtics did, right? The Hawks are going to make runs. They're going to push back in the game, but the Celtics did a good job of whenever the Hawks, exactly, whenever the Celtics or the Hawks got within, 6 to 8 points, even down to 5, I think it was at one point. The Celtics responded, whether it was a timeout from Missoula, whether it was a bucket, whether it was a defensive stop. They responded. No matter if Jaylen Brown's fouling a 3-point shooter, Marcus Smart's getting into a tussle with Trae Young, no matter what
Not
sort
suspended.
of mess happened, not suspended, which is surprising a little bit. They responded. It wasn't a pretty win, but it's the type of win that I think is important to see after they blow 3 leads in a row. Does that make sense?
Oh, I agree. Yeah, it's like, hey,
okay.
I'm Missoula. I'm not going to screw around with my timeouts anymore. So good for him. Second, I'm the rest of the fellas, and I'm not going to play like I'm brain dead when I go up by a bunch of points. So good for them. First time I took insurance, it didn't hit. Happy to be out $5.
Great.
By the way, speaking of picks, Brogdon pick hit last time. Smash the odds pick. Very tough showing. Kind of got screwed at the end there with the Trae Young sequence where he kicked Smart or didn't kick him and then thought the basket was good. Basket wasn't good. It's pretty close to the line, and then they never got close to the line again after
That basket should have absolutely counted.
I thought
by
it
the way.
counted.
That should have.
The explanation was they fouled him beforehand, I guess.
No shot. Hello, Phil. Fist bump.
Hey.
As far as the Marcus Smart thing, not that we have to like talk about it too in depth. Like, you can have an argument with how Trae Young plays, but I don't think he intentionally kicked Marcus. Right? I think he.
I don't think you can intentionally kick somebody when you're trying to shoot a basketball.
Yeah, I think. Well, you can definitely do it. We've seen people do it.
Well, you can't be effective at shooting the basketball.
Sure,
and try and kick somebody.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to kick him. I think he just he flails trying to draw fouls, and Marcus just so happened to be in the spot where he flailed his leg. You can argue that he shouldn't be playing like that because it's a rap move. Like that's an acceptable argument.
I think the league itself needs to crack down on all the falling around and all that. Sure. And on top of it being really annoying to watch, I do think it has some sort of effect on these guys having to miss so many games. With that being such a big talking point throughout the season, the more and more I think about it, yeah, guys played all 82 games like 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, they weren't falling down every time they took a jump shot trying to get a foul call. There's less contact, less mashing of your body. Of course, you're going to be healthier. I don't know if they need to implement like in soccer, there's a yellow card if you like flop too hard, like if it's like egregious, like they get a yellow card. Like maybe they need to do a tech if guys are like flailing too much. I don't know. But they need to do something about it, especially on the jumpers.
Hold up, I'm counting something.
Okay. 12, yeah, but Trae Young drove to the basket, 16. And he thought he got hit, so he embellished the contact. But still, I don't think he did anything reckless. He did get a tech. I don't know if it was because he kicked him or because they got into it afterwards. I'm not sure why they gave him the tech, but I definitely don't think the kick was intentional. As much as I would love it to be, and to really take the side of him. But I do understand Marcus getting upset because playing reckless like that does put him more at risk, and he's been victim to getting hit in the balls quite a bit. Which, by the way, they never say on television. They'll say midsection, anything but balls.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Hello, Uncle Dan. Thank you for tuning in. Fist bumps. I was counting a stat for Phil here. Trap game. C's better take care of business. I agree. However, the stat that I was counting, I had to count because there were a lot of games. When the Rockets score less than 110 points, they are 2-38.
Well, they want that guy Victor.
they are 2-38, and I sat here counting all of the L's in the column. I mean, that's insane. So, like, if you want a key to victory, don't let them score 110 points. And I mean, even when they score 110 points.
I wonder if that's a confidence thing, because obviously to get over 110, you probably have to get it going somewhat early. And maybe if they're struggling out the gates, there is that sentiment of, hey, there's this really good guy in the draft. We're just not going to try. Also, have you seen any of Steven Silas's press conferences? He hates these guys.
Yeah. Well, I feel for the guy, right?
I do too.
Yeah, when he signed up for that job, he had James Harden, he had John Wall, he had a competent roster that was going to look to make the playoffs, and then everything kind of crumbled. And
he might end up with James Harden. So
yeah, I don't think
he survives.
Excuse me, sorry, I have the hiccups. I don't think Silas is a bad coach. I think he's a bad coach for this situation, if that makes sense. Like he's not the type of guy to come in and develop guys. Exactly. Damon Stoudemire. Any opinions on Stoudemire news? Is he with the Celtics? He is doing one final game with them tonight.
And then an emotional send-off.
And then he's going to Atlanta to join Georgia Tech. Any thoughts on the news? It sucks losing such a high-valued assistant. Like he's the top guy. He takes over for games when Missoula hasn't been able to do it. But good for him. Good for him. Like he got a nice gig. He's going to coach D1, good college program. Yep, he's going to have a chance to build up a team. Like he'd be silly not to take it unless he thought he had an NBA job coming his way. And if he doesn't, this is just another way to build up his resume to eventually get an NBA job if he wants it. So good for Damon Stoudemire. Like I said, it sucks for the Celtics to lose him, but what are you going to do? Like
we should be really mad, actually. Like we should just be like crapping on the whole half hour. Like, man, what a rat. How can you be on the best, well, not the best team, one of the best teams in the league and want to leave?
Felt pained you to have to take back the best team.
Yeah, I know.
Comment.
I'm so used to it. Like when I was writing articles for Heavy, anytime I would mention him, I would put league best ahead of him.
I'm pretty sure Ime Udoka brought him on board. I don't think
I think that's true
because they're both Northwest guys. Who will fill Damon's position? They're not going to bring anybody in, from what I saw. I assume like Ben Sullivan will step up, Aaron Miles will step up. Somebody on the staff will step up.
The guy that they talk about on the broadcast every game now that he does the reviews.
Who's this? Aaron Miles?
I don't know.
Oh,
they always every time there's a challenge, they're going to go to this guy and find out if they're going to challenge.
Celtics 5 tonight. Not particularly surprising. No. We know the same. I'm going to type in the Rockets starting 5 as well. Sam, would you like to guess the Rockets starting 5? Şengün is hurt, so I will save you that.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Tate. Yes?
Not Tate. Not
Shit. Oh, boy. No.
The 3 juniors. There are 3 juniors in
the Kenyon Martin's kid.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2, I have no clue.
Well, you should.
Jalen Smith.
Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith. Green. Yeah.
And Tari Eason. He was a
Eason I would not have got.
That's all right.
Me not knowing Jabari Smith was actually really bad because I liked him coming out of the draft. So
yeah, and he's not played particularly well this year. He is
kind of weird. He should be. Like, he's got the body for it. He was skilled in college, like looked like KD. I don't know. I'm not watching the Rockets, so I can't tell you what's going on for him, but kind of surprising. By the way, Brandon Miller looks very similar to that.
Yeah.
Of Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations to Jared for stepping up and taking a bench on the Celtics. Justin is requesting a jersey in the chat for you, so there's that. Lena saying, is it true 2025 MLE will... Wait. 2025 MLE will be 18 million Bobby Marks. If so, it makes Grant's situation a bit different. It'll probably be around that. Like, the cap is growing.
That's crazy.
Well, the cap is growing at a large rate.
NBA players getting paid astronomical amounts of money, and they like hate working compared to every other professional athlete. Like, they really hate playing games. This is like the only sport where they're like, we need less games. We need this. We don't want to have to suit up for back-to-backs. And like the NFL, they're like, we're going to add a game. And everyone's like, yeah, all right then.
The mid-level exception, the value
right now it's like
this year,
8.5, 9. It's like that.
The non-taxpayer MLE was 10.5.
Ooh.
This year. The taxpayer MLE was 6.5.
Look at that. I don't know.
So it wouldn't surprise me to see it approaching on 15 in a couple years. And that's just a matter of like NBA is growing as a brand. They're making more money. The cap is going to grow as they make more money. Like the $20 million contract now is a high value role player, and 10 years ago was a max contract, right? Like, it's crazy to think about that. And I mean, we don't have to dive into Grant Williams. I feel like we talked a lot about him but like 15 to 18 million is not going to be as much as it was today versus what it'll be like in a few years. And you can have your complaints about Grant Williams and say like he's having a rough stretch. He's fallen out of the rotation seemingly right now for Missoula.
Kind of funny,
which is like questionable. Like I don't get it. Like I understand he's playing bad. I'll be the first one to tell you he's playing bad. I've been saying it, even though I'm a big fan of him. Like I've been making it a point to try to be impartial because I do like him.
Jack.
I'm trying, but also pause, Andrew. Big typo there in the chat. Let's chill.
You're gonna get fined like Ken Thomas.
Yeah. You're gonna get us banned.
It's not very cash money of you, Jack.
But
I've frozen Jack.
A few minutes, like I don't get the point of benching him through the struggles. I feel like he has to play through it. If anything, I feel like it'll only ice him out. And like as good as Blake and Sam Hauser are playing, like they're fine. In a playoff series against the Bucks, you need Grant. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care like how poorly he's playing on offense. You need him. You need him against the Sixers.
Well, that's where you really miss
guys.
Ime, because Ime would be like, hey, Grant, don't suck. And then Grant would be like, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Let's blame this on Joe, right? This is Joe's fault, actually.
I just love that was the understanding of his coaching style last year. He's like, you guys suck. And they were like, yeah, you're right. And then they started trying.
Yeah, right.
That's like the best like coaching relationship ever. It was hilarious. Too bad.
I just don't get it.
what are you going to do?
Phil has a question for you.
Yes, it is a KG hat. I love it. It's my favorite hat. Think it looks nice. Has a little signature on the front. Has this. All right, I'm mirrored. I can't tell. On the side says the date. It's very cool. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm looking at lines right now.
Landon saying, I think it's matchup based going forward for Grant. I don't have an issue paying him. Pretty surprising how quickly NBA pays go. I do too, and I get the matchup thing a little bit, but why is he a matchup problem against the Hawks? That's my thing. I just don't understand really. Hello, Lewis.
Hey.
Justin saying, to be honest, I'm worried about the Rockets.
What is the Rockets' last 5? Over the last 5, what have they done?
I'm gonna take you a look right now. Their last 5: lost to the Bulls, lost to the Pacers in OT, lost to the Nets, and then beat the Spurs twice. So they're really fumbling the tanking.
Those rivalry games, don't sleep on them.
The only team the Spurs have beaten since February 3rd is the Spurs.
That's impressive.
Have they beaten?
Shout out to the Spurs for really not trying.
Do the Timberwolves have a winning record right now, Sam?
No. I don't think so.
To the Hawks?
I'm just trying to think of teams in the West. I don't think they have a winning record. Atlanta
From what I'm
might.
Let me check Hawks record. Hawks are 500, so I won't count them. What is the Jazz record?
Jazz, I think, are also below
500. Okay, so the Rockets have only beat what seems to be 4 above 500 teams this season. They beat the Mavericks in November. They beat the Sixers in December in double OT. They beat the Bucks in December, and then they beat the Suns as well. And those Sixers, Bucks, and Suns games came in the span of a week. And they lost to the Spurs in between.
Well, you have to respect that because they were doing the Lord's work, beating the other teams in the Eastern Conference. Now, if they beat the Celtics, then that is a real rat move.
Oh, they beat the Suns twice. Suns down horrendous.
Who?
The Rockets have beat the Suns twice.
No, the Celtics.
Huh?
The Celtics.
What do you mean? What about the Celtics? I wasn't talking about the Celtics.
But I said Celtics, and then you said Suns.
What did you say about the Celtics? I was saying the Rockets beat the Suns twice.
You said they beat Milwaukee and Philly. And then I said it would be really messed up if they beat the Celtics. And then you started talking about the Suns.
Yeah, sorry. I was still reading. Reading the box score. I was looking for context. I wanted to see if was Giannis playing. For example, this Suns game, D-Book wasn't playing. Giannis was playing. They actually had a fully healthy lineup, so that's poor on the Bucks.
We apologize for that chat. We both had our brains melt.
I was so confused.
Mainly me.
Embiid was playing. Yeah, all these teams were fully healthy except for the Suns. The Bucks and the Rockets fully healthy lost to the Rockets.
Milwaukee played tonight. Mm-hmm. This is starting to get fun because I'm starting to really care about these other games going on.
I want you to everyone's saying hi to each other. Hello. Sam and Jack not listening to each other.
That's
with an emoji. Yes. Yeah. I tune them out sometimes. The Bucks are playing tonight. They're playing the Kings. We could be Kings fans tonight, Sam.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yeah. Hype. Well, I was rooting for the Kings all week. They beat the Knicks.
Love the Kings.
Yeah, Kings are likable. Perk said, watch out for the Kings if you're the Warriors. Perk said the Kings are going to go to the Western Conference Finals today. That's what he said on First Take.
You know what? I fuck with it. I like the Kings. I'm rolling with the Kings this year.
Yeah, I was writing about it. I was like, man, I would actually be excited to watch this.
Why not? Let's go Kings. I'll root for the Kings to come out of the West. Why not?
They beat the Celtics this week, though. I'm going to have to start hating them.
Yeah. Let's chill out. No. Kings, 2nd seed in the West. Lakers fumbled the bag. Chance to go into 6th place last night. Fell back down to 11th. That is tough.
Keep losing. You other teams in the West.
I'll say this.
Better step it up.
I'll say this. I've never hated LeBron, but you kind of have to root against him. It's just kind of basketball nature.
Yeah.
If this Lakers roster wasn't the Lakers, obviously, because Celtics can't like the Lakers, I wouldn't hate this team. Does that make sense?
I think Davis is unlikable too.
I don't mind Davis when he's like healthy and not bitching. I know you don't like him because of the history, but like I enjoy watching him is what I'm saying. But like D'Angelo Russell doesn't bother me, right? Like they seem fun otherwise. Like if they weren't
Not a lot of
wearing
rats
purple
on
and
the
gold,
team.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate them if they weren't the Lakers, which is like, come on.
I do kind of feel bad for Darvin Ham. He seems like he's trying his best.
He is.
They just keep like having stuff go wrong, which is funny, but like he's a first year head coach. Like also like you gotta be like a little bit dumb to take like a coaching job under LeBron. Like that's a big gamble because he's never getting the blame. At least any like weighted blame.
I have a question.
Nobody's putting weight on it.
I have a question. I know you don't like the Lakers, but I'm going to ask you to be impartial here.
Okay.
They've been good since the deadline. They've had a good run. They look competitive.
I know
since
they
the deadline.
Have. Yeah, I'm just curious.
Oh, I thought you meant overall. I thought you were just going to go on a rant like saying, I don't care.
No, I'm genuinely curious what their record is after the deadline. Because they beat the Warriors at least once. But no, they beat them twice.
I'm double checking. I know they haven't been healthy, so it's like been some up and downs because like LeBron's been hurt. Russell went down with an ankle sprain. But since the deadline, they have gone February. What was the deadline? 13th?
8th, 9th.
Okay, so we won't count that day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 and 4. Right? Not bad. I'll ask you this. If you had to pick one of these teams to make, like say the Lakers make the playoffs. Who do you trust more in the playoffs, the Lakers or the Clippers?
That's hard.
Right? It's messed up.
You really do want to like trust the Clippers. The Clippers should be good. Like they should be deep, but they just like those guys just don't play.
If I had to bet on a team to make the Western Conference Finals, I'd probably bet on the Lakers over the Clippers, which is crazy, right? Because like there's no consistency with the Clippers.
I think either team there is going to be the Nets of last season. Yeah, the chat's divided. But seriously, I feel like they're the Nets of last season where like everyone's waiting for them to be good. And the playoffs come and they're like, oh man, like they're going to be good. And then they just get clapped. Like they'll play the Kings and like people won't think the Kings are real. And then they'll clap them. Like, I'm sorry. It is like in human nature to assume the Kings aren't going to do well. But the team's like, you've had a large enough sample size now. You know that this team has to be somewhat legit.
Andrew says Kawhi as if
I agree with that.
I know we don't have to like him, but like as if the Lakers, if he gets healthy, don't have somebody who's also done exactly what Kawhi has done, right?
It's true.
Right? Like
Kawhi's younger.
Kawhi is younger, but like he's also, and I know it's ironic because LeBron's not healthy right now, but I also don't trust him to stay healthy, even though
the wheels might be coming off him with the health. But it's fair on both sides. Both of them like to sit out and look cool on the sideline.
Uncle Dan, Jokic is MVP right now. I agree. I've said this. He's Matt. Do you agree with this? Would you go Jokic MVP right now?
I'm done with the MVP talk. I don't want to talk about it. That's all I see on Twitter, and it's dumb people arguing. I literally don't care.
For what it's worth, I'd probably go Jokic or Giannis. I'd probably lean Jokic, but
tell you what, you should go. Tough. You should go and bet with Smash the Odds. You've got the pregame pick here today. You can follow Smash the Odds on Twitter at Smash Odds for all the picks. March Madness is coming up. There will be daily specials for all the premium picks. You can buy the day's slate, enjoy watching all the games, and make some money while you do it. Tonight's pick, Jaylen Brown over 24.5 points. He had a good game in Atlanta. He's been actually really good with the mask. I feel like he's been more efficient. His percentages are up. I don't know if he's turning the ball over less. That's always a stretch. But I feel like he's been pretty consistent for the most part, and you can trust my pick. Not as consistent as of late, but got to back him. Marcus over 11.5 points. Big point to prove today after getting thrown out of the Atlanta game. It's time for him to start screwing around. I got to tell you, what was the only right answer to the MVP? I don't care. Yeah. Jared saying I had the only right answer to the MVP question.
Phoenix and Uncle Dan debating in the chat. You want to assign to the Tides? Sam Hauser has points on the sportsbook and not Grant Williams.
Wow. That
should tell you. He's sitting at 7.5. If I had to go with something, I'd probably lean towards Jayson Tatum, 28.5 over. I feel like he could explode and drop a bunch of points. This Rockets team does not play much defense.
No.
I was talking about The Rockets are something and something, when they
2-38,
score,
if you must know.
When they score a certain amount of points. I'll share this screen with you too. I really don't feel like counting them, but I'll show you this. Here is the Rockets record when they allow a certain amount of points. Let's take a look here. When they allow 120 plus points, I see a lot of L's and I see one sole win against the Magic.
Double overtime against the Sixers.
Yeah, down bad.
That was a hard-fought win.
Philly down bad. But yeah, they may rest Tatum because it's going to be a blowout. Knock on wood, Phoenix. Come on now. But leave a like Justin says. We appreciate you. Yeah, I like Tatum over. I think that could be a thing. I like Tatum rebounds too. He's been a double-double machine. He's sitting at 9.5 right now, and it's plus 100. I really don't mind that. However, it's kind of dangerous today because
I had the same thing.
Because you don't know how much he's gonna play. Because how much he's gonna play. Woj tweeting, Grizzlies guard John Morant has entered a counseling program in Florida, and there remains no timetable for his return to play. Sorry, that's what Sam and I were looking at. Woj dropped something. And, had to check it.
I'm sorry if you're the Grizzlies. Like, this is not the time to be a hardo. Like, the West is wide open, dog. You gotta go for it.
I don't think it's the Grizzlies. I feel like it's the NBA making them do this.
I guess.
Well, because
anybody. Like, he just was like, "Hey, look at my super cool gun." And that was it.
But he said, "Look at my super cool gun."
Like beat up a 17-year-old. So
and he said, "Look at my super cool gun." After he was accused of pointing a gun at somebody, and then they said, "No, he didn't do that." And then he waved a gun on a live stream. Like, dude.
Well, yeah, because it was brand new. He was showing it off. He's like, "Hey, look, I didn't have this gun before. Now I have it."
Steven Adams sat him down after all the things came out and said, "You got to chill out." And then he waved a gun on him.
Then he was like, "Look at my super cool gun."
Nuts. I don't even know.
I said it before. Like, is being good at basketball not good enough for you? Like, are you not busy enough? Like, you don't have like shots to take in the gym? Man,
I don't know, man.
Come on, man. William asked in the chat, do you guys have a post-game show? Not right now. Perhaps in the playoffs we will, or something like that. It's tough. I got to get up in the mornings, so we'll see.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, your ass. You have to go to bed in the mornings.
This is true.
The best was when I used to work at the news station. I would get up at 3:30 and I would like open Twitter, and Jack was tweeting, and he hadn't gone to bed yet. And I'd text him, I'd be like, "Dude, go to bed."
This was weird.
Kind of weird that. I mean, it was nice that they said nice things about him, but they didn't need to share a picture. I guess.
Yeah.
I think I heard or read that they did not share the picture. It was someone else leaked it. Like, it wasn't the club itself.
Oh, like an employee, like one
an employee or something. Okay, like, it wasn't. It might not have been the club owner, but the club did put out a statement like saying he was a upstanding young man or whatever the hell it said. It was something like that.
Weird,
I'm not being sarcastic.
People are weird. Social media makes people weird nowadays. Like, I don't know.
Well, I get what they were doing. They were trying to be like he was like he shouldn't be in trouble. Like he was a good patron or whatever.
No. I'm talking about the person who leaked the photo.
Oh,
who's like,
yeah.
Look at what Ja was doing, right? Like, come on.
Like, wow, he got a lap dance at a strip club. I thought he went there to play patty cake.
Yeah, what are we doing? Jared saying, "Gonna need a post game show during the playoffs." We'll talk about it. This maybe we'll have to do it.
Well, we did pods last year.
We did halftime shows during the playoffs too.
Oh, halftime is fun actually.
We can do
good way to pass the time. Don't sleep on the halftime shows. If we're gonna do it, we'll tell you so.
We can consider post game shows. I know CLNS does a post game show. Yeah, CLNS does the post game. That's kind of why we did the pre games, because like CLNS doesn't do pre games. Other people, not a lot of people do pre game shows. It's a lot of post game stuff. We can test it out.
Too, I mean, halftime, we had some good shows because I'd come in rattled.
I know, it was fun.
I would come on, I'd be like, "This is unacceptable." They'd be up like 15.
We'll have to we'll have to think about it. Maybe we'll consider post game shows. If you guys are going to show up and you're going to show out, and we'll get hyped. Yeah, why not? We'll be around.
What do we have to do? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. We'll mess around. But anyways, we'll get ready for this Rockets game. Let's hope the Celtics can take care of business. I'll look at these last two things quick. Landon saying, "Phil, I saw Pippen as a Blazer versus PP and Antoine." Speaking of Blazers, Phil is hyped. Phoenix saying Lakers versus Chicken Nuggets. Who would you pick, assuming both fully loaded? This very well be 1-8. I'd pick the Nuggets. I don't care. Yeah, the Lakers are cool
because I hate. But I don't know. It's just another thing. Like, that conversation is the conversation people were having last year with the Celtics and the Nets. Who are you going to pick? Celtics and the Nets. Nets are nasty.
Yeah.
They have KD and Kyrie. And everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people picked it to be like a 5-game series, like Forsberg did. I remember he was talking about it. And like, I was like, man, I don't know what to say. Like, I hate picking series. Like, I hate being wrong.
For
But
the
like,
Celtics, you mean? He picked it to be 5 for the Celtics?
yeah, he picked them in 5.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was like, I don't know, it might be 7. Like, after that first game, like Tatum had hit the buzzer beater.
They got talent. Like, because the Nets have talent. You can't discount talent. But
yeah.
Anyways, anything you want to say before we get on out of here?
No. We'll probably do a pod tomorrow and then release it Wednesday.
Yep.
If that makes sense. And maybe Thursday we'll stream. So I don't know.
You'll have content this week. Is the point?
We'll do something.
Plenty of stuff.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. I think about it like twice a week. I'm like, wow, I can't believe they didn't win a title last year.
If someone wants to go through all of our VODs and finds every time Sam said they should have won, compile it for
the
us.
title.
We'll put it up.
And then I'm like, game 4, shot a bunch of threes. Now I'm scarred. Like I'm like, Missoula, shut up. Just like sit there and make them watch the end of game 4.
Thank you for the kind words, everybody. We appreciate y'all. You can check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and Facebook at How About Them C's or at How About Them Celtics for Facebook. Check out Heavy on Celtics on Facebook. Go subscribe. We'll send you guys over. Heavy on Celtics now has a YouTube channel. We're not. We had to request it, so we'll be on it tomorrow.
Okay.
Or future streams. But go check out Heavy on Celtics on YouTube. Leave a subscriber. They have 3 right now because they just started it. So if we can send all of our chat over and they can get 10 more, we'd appreciate it. Heavy on Celtics. We both write for Heavy. We're going to be streaming the pregame shows there as well. We'll still be here, but it's just another.
It's another like, hey, look
platform.
At us.
Another platform. So go to YouTube. Go to Heavy on Celtics on YouTube. Subscribe there. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics if you haven't yet. I mean, what are you doing if you haven't yet?
We're close to 300. 300.
Like Phoenix says, maybe we will consider a post-game show. This is the reason why we've been hesitant, because CLNS gets all those people. But subscribe to Heavy on Celtics like Landon. We appreciate it. We're here 30 minutes for every Celtics game. We'll be probably recording a pod tomorrow that will drop on Wednesday, and then Wednesday they play again, if I am correct.
Yep.
And so we will see you then for pregame as well. So we'll catch you guys later. Thank you guys for tuning in, and peace out.